there. He's closing the gap. Oh, he
Turn
loses
10
a
to
little
11, 19 is dancing. Here's Shane Van Gisbergen into the hairpin. Briscoe charges in, can't make the pass. We're racing in wine country, and Shane Van Gisbergen is the toast of the town. He wins again at Sonoma.
Shane Van Gisbergen went to Sonoma and did something nobody else in NASCAR could do. He won on Saturday, then came back and won again on Sunday. That's a full weekend sweep. 2 races, 2 wins, 1 driver. And the crazy part? He almost let the Sunday win slip away at the very end. Let's break down everything that happened at Sonoma Raceway. First, let's talk about who Shane Van Gisbergen actually is. He's a driver from New Zealand who races the number 97 Red Bull Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. And when it comes to road courses, tracks with left and right turns, not just ovals, nobody in NASCAR right now is better than him. Nobody. He came into this weekend with 7 career road course wins in the Cup Series. That already had him tied with Chase Elliott for the most among active drivers. But after Sunday, he's now at 8. That ties him with the legendary Tony Stewart for second on the all-time list. And he's just 1 win away from Jeff Gordon's record of 9. Think about that.
11. Shane Van Gisbergen has been perfect. He has navigated the streets of Chicago to perfection. The final time, onto the front stretch. He comes to the checkered flag. He's won the very first street race in NASCAR.
But before we get to Sunday's big Cup race, we have to talk about Saturday first. On Saturday, SVG raced in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Sonoma Series. That's the second-tier series, 1 level below the Cup Series. He was driving for JR Motorsports, which is a different team from his Cup ride, and he won that race too, making him the winningest internationally born driver in that entire series.
Turn 11, final time. Little lap traffic, no problems for engine number 9. He's a Sonoma superstar. Shane Van Gisbergen wins in wine country.
Hell of a job, Shane. Thank you.
The race came down to a battle between SVG and his own JR Motorsports teammate, Connor Zilisch. SVG talked about it afterwards, saying, "I thought he was going to catch me. Then it would have been an awesome battle, but thankfully I had enough gap and was able to manage it." This win was also personal for SVG. It was his first win since losing his friend Kyle Busch. He said, "He was a valued member of the community and the racing series. He's an amazing guy. We all miss him dearly." And heading into Sunday's Cup race, after a rough week the week before, where Austin Hill wrecked him out of a race he had a real shot at winning, SVG said, "It can't hurt. It was a bad week last week. We had a really good chance to win that race and got taken away from us. So pretty cool to come here and execute." He was ready for Sunday. Now let's talk about the Cup race itself. Sonoma Raceway is a 1.99-mile road course with 12 turns located north of San Francisco. The race was 110 laps. It was also the last road course race on the entire 2026 schedule, so it was a big one. SVG started the race from 6th place. Ty Gibbs of Joe Gibbs Racing started from the pole, meaning the very front. The first part of the race, called Stage 1, had no yellow flags at all. That meant strategy became really important. Some teams chose to pit their cars early, giving up points in the stage, but gaining better track position for Stage 2. SVG's team was one of them. He pitted near the end of Stage 1 and finished 7th in the stage. Gibbs stayed out and won Stage 1, but that decision actually put him behind more than 20 cars who had already made their pit stops. So when Stage 2 started, SVG moved right to the front. Stage 2 was when things started to go wrong for Tyler Reddick. Reddick is one of the best road course racers in the whole sport, but his team had to go under the hood to fix a power steering problem. He lost lap after lap. Eventually, he finished dead last, 36th place, 4 laps behind the leader. That's a nightmare. But Gibbs kept fighting back through traffic and somehow won Stage 2 as well, sweeping both opening stages. Christopher Bell finished 2nd in both stages too. Bell had a scary moment on pit road during a stop. His tire changer stopped him just before he drove away because a wheel needed to be tightened again. If that wheel had come off on the track, Bell would have gotten a 2-lap penalty. crisis avoided. The final stage is where everything got wild. Right after a restart, Austin Cindric and Josh Berry made contact. Berry spun and several other cars got caught up behind him. Yellow flag. When they went back to green, chaos broke out. Denny Hamlin, who was running inside the top 10, got spun around on lap 64. His car got hit in the nose and lost all its downforce. He said, "I had a really fast car, a top 5 car on speed. Once we got spun, it just lost all the downforce and we struggled." He fell all the way back to 26th. Then Todd Gilliland spun. Chase Elliott had an incident. John Hunter Nemechek had an incident. Cody Ware had an incident. None of those caused yellow flags. It was messy. SVG came back to the lead on lap 88 and never gave it up. He led 74 of the race's 110 laps total. He looked completely in control. But then the final few laps happened. Chase Briscoe, driving the number 19 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing, started closing in fast. His car came alive at exactly the wrong time for SVG. The gap was shrinking every single lap. Meanwhile, SVG's car was getting worse. Lapped cars were sliding off the track and kicking dirt onto the racing surface. He was struggling to keep his pace up. SVG said, "We had these shit boxes come out in front and they were wobbling all over the track and putting dust, and I just kept struggling." Chase was really good. A couple more laps, we would have had some problems. Briscoe believed he had the better car, and with 3 or 4 laps to go, he nearly made the pass. He pushed hard into turn 1, but made a mistake, almost crashed, lost a huge chunk of ground. He said,
Yeah, just made a mistake, and like I said, you gotta be perfect to beat him.
And a lot of long green flag runs today. What was the hardest part about putting consistent laps together?
Yeah, just tire management. The long run was obviously you can make up a lot of time, and for us, we were able to manage that. My car was really good on the long run. It was good on the short run, just good all the way around. So it just makes your job way easier to stay under the tire because you're not sliding around too much.
Briscoe ran SVG back down but ran out of laps. SVG crossed the finish line just 0.357 seconds ahead. That's about a third of 1 second after 110 laps and 218 miles of racing. SVG admitted how close it really was. He said, "The last 10 laps, I was really in a world of hurt. I'm really thankful it wasn't 1 or 2 laps longer." The final top 5 were SVG in first, Briscoe second, Ty Gibbs third, who led 31 laps and swept both stages but couldn't win, Kyle Larson fourth, and Christopher Bell fifth. Connor Zeilish, SVG's JR Motorsports teammate from Saturday, finished 7th in the Cup race too, his first ever top 10 finish in the Cup Series. Larson was really happy with how his team performed. He said, "It's definitely the best we've been all year. I don't even know the last time we had 4 top 5s in a row. The Toyotas are still the best. Even with SVG winning today, they were on his butt." Now let's talk about the championship picture, because Sunday changed everything at the top. Tyler Reddick had been the points leader since winning the Daytona 500 to start the season. He held that lead for months, but after finishing last on Sunday with his power steering problem, he lost the lead for the first time all year. He did manage to set the fastest lap of the race to earn 1 bonus point. He said, "We were very fortunate to only lose 9 points to Denny while finishing dead last." Denny Hamlin took over the points lead by just 1 point, 1 single point, despite finishing 26th. That's how wild the championship battle got on Sunday. SVG himself moved from outside the chase cut line all the way up to 14th in points, 36 points above the cut line. But he knows the hard part is coming. He said, "It certainly helps, but I need to really step it up on the ovals. This is an oval championship, and I need to keep getting better at them." There are no more road courses left on the 2026 schedule. The NASCAR Cup Series heads to Chicagoland Speedway next, the first time the series has raced there since 2019. That race is on July 5th, and the championship battle between Hamlin and Reddick is separated by just 1 point heading in.